Hello, BookTube. Who's up for a mail haul jam? And the first thing out of this pile is by far the best thing, but it's not a book. It's this. It's the University of Chicago Press catalog. And look at the size of it. This is going to be absolutely chock full of things that I want. And I have high hopes of getting them all. I have high hopes of just making a long list and getting everything. I don't know. I actually know the. Oh, okay. There is a request form. Good, nice big long request form. But it wouldn't matter anyway because I know the. Oh, look at that! Look at the first one. I promise I won't drag you through the whole thing. But the first one is how to tame a fox and build a dog. This is that's certainly going to be there was a Siberian breeder scientist who conducted an experiment to see just how many generations it would take to domesticate foxes. Not just to have them not savagely bite when a human came nearby, not just to have them eat from your hand, but also to physiologically change them, to prolong their childhood, to change their facial structures, to change them into a different kind of animal, a domesticated fox. And that you might have seen, there was an article about it in National Geographic about 5 or 6 years ago that was just one of their most popular articles in recent times. And the amazing thing about the experiment was that the process didn't require long. It happened in 3 generations of foxes, less than that. And it was astonishing. It shed a lot of light, very likely, on the actual origins of Canis familiaris, my own people. But anyway, that was the very first thing. That's the only thing we don't have to open because it came like that. And then we've got a pile of books, and we will culminate with a box. So let's see, what is this one? It's a pull tab that doesn't work. How amazing. So now I get a little asbestos with my day. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, good. So it's Penn State University Press. One of the 2 things in here is another catalog, and also a sizable one. Great. It is a season for them. But let's see. The book itself is The Seductions of Darwin, Art, Evolution, and Neuroscience by Matthew Rampley. It's a pretty thing, isn't it? The surge of evolutionary and neurological analyses of art and its effects raises questions of how art, culture, and the biological sciences influence one another, and what we gain in applying scientific methods to the interpretation of artwork. Oh, not sure I like that idea, but this is January. Okay. But it looks densely researched. Look at all the notes at the end. Oh my god! All right, well, the author of Matthew Rampley is clearly a geekosaurus about his subject, so I will certainly listen. So we've got this here. What is this? Yale. Oh, right. Okay. All right. This is the finished. This also is due in January. This is a finished copy of a book called "Closing the Courthouse Door." I have the advanced copy of this. I don't think it was something that I showed on camera. I know. Quite a few of you were outraged at the idea that I get books I don't show you. We're going to have to fix that in 2017. I'll just show you every single thing. You don't seem to find it tedious, so. But it's so much trouble to film a book opening. I mean, I've got to get the lighting right, and I've got to make sure my hair and clothing's right. I've got to have the microphone position just right, and then there's the editing process. Oh my god, it's an hour at least. It's actually quite easy. But the subtitle is How Your Constitutional Rights Became Unenforceable. And I read the review copy, and it was, as you might guess from that subtitle, just a trifle alarmist. But that was before. That was then. Now I will read it in a completely different world. So who knows? Probably find it much better. Let's move on. Look at that. That one worked perfectly. Oh. It's Penguin Classic. What have we got here? Oh, great. Writings from Ancient Egypt. This is a new collection of writings of, it's an anthology of writings from ancient Egypt, a new translation by Toby Wilkinson, who does great work, popular histories of ancient Egypt. Oh, excellent. Uh, in ancient Egypt, words had magical power. Inscribed on tombs and temple walls, coffins and statues are inked into papyri. Hieroglyphics give us a unique insight into the life of the Egyptian mind. For this remarkable new collection, Egyptologist Toby Wilkinson has freshly translated a rich and diverse range of ancient Egyptian writings into modern English, including tales of shipwreck and wonder, first-hand accounts of battles and natural disasters, obelisk inscriptions, mortuary spells, funeral hymns, songs, satires, and advice on life from a pharaoh to his son. Fantastic. And also a really good example of the editorial adventurousness that Penguin has been showing in the last 10 years, maybe even specifically in the last 5 years, where they're finding things like this, that instead of just doing, another set of reprints of Balzac, they're finding stuff, multicultural stuff, all sorts of overlooked stuff, and putting it in the Penguin line. I just think that's fantastic. Just fantastic. Especially since they're hiring, they're not just reprinting. An anthology like this, vaguely like this, was done, I think, by Budge about 115 years ago. Another reprint, a less adventurous reprint house, would simply reprint that, maybe give you a new introduction. This is a whole new thing, a benchmark that's a totally affordable paperback. I love that. I think that's great. What's the other one here? It's Hans Holbein, The Dance of Death. the cover says that it has a commentary by Ulinka Rublak. And you might be asking yourself, well, why does it, I don't know what the book is, but why does it have a commentary instead of an introduction? I can tell you without even opening it why it has a commentary instead of an introduction. Because it's not a text. It's a series of illustrations. It's a series of engravings. Oh my God, I can't believe Penguin would do this. Look at that. That's all it is. It's the whole series of engravings and then an enormous commentary in the back. Oh my God, that is so fantastic. Holbein moved to Basel and joined a thriving new industry of commercial engraving. He did a ton of work with Erasmus, for instance, and he did this sequence these little blocks of the history of death, where there's death in the old woman. He's right there. Or you can just pick him at random. There's death and the peddlers. Death is grabbing his sleeve. But there's all sorts of iconography involved here. You have to pay attention to what's in the background. You look at the peddler's dog and you realize it's not a dog, it's a lion. You've got there's subtext on every one of these things. Oh, I can't believe Penguin's doing Hans Holbein. That is incredible. What a pair of penguins. All right, let's move on, shall we? Oh my. Oh my. All right, what is this? It's comic books. As you mentioned, this is a new publicist for DC Comics. I emailed him and told him that anything he'd be pleased to send me, I'd be happy to have. DC has not been forthcoming with review stuff. As you mentioned in your email that you're a big fan of Superman, we're happy to share the whole run of Superman so far. It's the whole run of Superman so far for the rebirth of DC Comics. So I got a stack of Superman comics and two Penguin classics side by side. I think I'm gonna plot. All right, let's move on. Let's, let's go on to this one. If this is an 800-page new biography of Erasmus, then you can just check with Deb for where my funeral's going to be, and you'll know I died happy, and you can all just show up and lean over the coffin and say to her, "Oh, he looks good." Oh my God! What is this? Oh, very nice. This is the finished copy of a book I've praised on this channel before, Final Solution, David Cesarani. This is a great book. One of the great works of history that's come out this year. And oh my. Okay, it's a very, very somber but very nice finished copy. How wonderful. This comes out, this is out already, I think. Yeah, this is November 8th. If you are Holocaust, if you're interested in the Holocaust, you can't really be a Holocaust fan, but if you're interested in the subject, and you see this at your bookstore, this holiday season, or if you know somebody who's this is, and you look at it stacked on the table and you think, well, there are two of these every year, I don't know if this one's any good. It has my highest stamp of approval. It's brilliant. Wow, okay. Move on here to this thing. What are these? Sticks. Here, let's get scissors. We've got them right here. And see what this is. Da Capo Press, they're always good. What's this? Oh my. This is Universal, A Guide to the Cosmos. Oh my. Distance to the Stars, Parallax, Planetary Biology. This is just a Einstein's Theory of Gravity. This is a one-volume, very convenient layman's introduction to astronomy and cosmology. Oh, good. Well, I think, why don't I read what they have to say for us? To many, concepts like the inflationary multiverse and string theory appear incomprehensible. You figure? Musing on how our universe came to be and how it continues to change may seem better left to scientists and cosmologists, but in Universal, A Guide to the Cosmos, Professors Brian Cox and Jeff Forshaw show how anyone can do it. How wonderful. Distilling concepts of galactic proportions down to their most fundamental parts and revealing a world of science in which we can all participate. Fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, this comes out in April. Oh, I feel a pitch coming on. I think I would like to write about this for money. And then we've got, hardly have room to maneuver here. Then we have a box. We'll finish up with a box. Ordinarily, I would balk, but when it comes to getting at new books, Steve has the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. All right, well, this was an enormous amount of packaging for something that could have gone in a padded envelope. But what is this? Oh, my. Okay, this is Yale. This is one of their art books. This is a study of the tapestries of Raphael da Santi. This is the tapestries that he made for the brutal, monstrous Pope Leo X. I don't think I've ever read. I don't think I've ever seen a study of his tapestries before. How fascinating. Around 1515, a key year, Raphael designed a set of tapestries for Leo X, the first Medici Pope. Each was sumptuously woven in gold, silver, and silk, and depicted scenes from classical mythology with inventive grotesques. While the Renaissance master's first series of tapestries for the Sistine Chapel survive and have been exhibited in recent years, the 8 spectacular and grand-scale textiles that were known as the grotesques of Leo X are now lost. The set is reconstructed in Raphael's tapestries and positioned alongside a number of unprecedented decorative projects that Pope Leo commissioned from the artist. I wonder how you'd reconstruct them. Sketches? But then how would you know about the colors? Did Raphael do color sketches of his tapestries? Would anybody be that anal retentive when you're going to... Huh. Well, it scarcely matters. This is great. So this is due in early January. No information on whether or not it is accompanying an exhibit. I'd be willing to bet it is, but you never know. I'll have to open it to find out. Okay, great. Well, this was a first-class mail haul. So we have, to recap, we have an art book of Raphael. That's great. A handbook to the universe. The beautiful, somber, finished copy of Final Solution. Closing the Courthouse Doors. The Seductions of Darwin. No idea what that is. And then 2 great Penguin classics. And a whole year's worth of Superman comic books. Steve is pleased. and plus catalogs, where I will spend some time right now. Thank you, Book 2. I'm going to go collect myself.